Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews. I'm Judith and you're watching another What I'm Reading Right Now video here on the channel. This is my series where I talk about what I have been reading, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm going to be reading next. I think I finished 6 things since last time we spoke, which I'm not too unhappy about. I do wish it maybe had been a couple of books more, but that's okay. Is this camera angle a little wonky? I think it might be a little wonky. Let me just fix it before we talk about what I've been reading. First up, for Overbooked, I did a reread of Neil and Jared Schusterman's Dry. This is a YA book set in California at a time in the not so distant future where all the water runs out. It is a apocalyptic novel, I would describe it as, where we kind of see people, children, in the very beginning of this crisis. I am going to do an Overbooked video for this I think it's in 2 weeks, so I'm filming that today, so I don't want to talk about it too much here. I did think this was a good book. I have some issues with it that I will get into in that video, but overall I think this is a really interesting concept, and if you want a book that's going to make you stressed out about the climate crisis, oh boy is this one of them. I don't know that I would wholeheartedly recommend it for every single aspect of the book, but for the exploration of what it would be like to suddenly run out of water, very interesting. Still with the rereads, everything this week was a reread. I finished Victories Greater Than Death by Charlie Jane Anders. This is the first book in the Unstoppable series. This is Charlie Jane Anders' YA, and it's interesting. It's a spacey sci-fi kind of book. We have our main character Tina, who has grown up on Earth but discovers before the book even starts that she is in fact the clone of an alien general who has been hidden on Earth to stop this, malevolent force getting to her. The book kind of starts with her knowing that she's going to be picked up by these aliens at any point soon. It is a group of teenagers have to solve a problem kind of book. I like it. I don't think I would recommend it to everyone. I think if you're very familiar with Charlie Jane Anders' writing style, which does tend to be a little bit abstract maybe is the right word. The structure of the books tend to be a bit loosey-goosey. I think you would enjoy it. I wouldn't necessarily say everyone jump in, you'll be able to pick this up. I think mostly because the pacing of it's kind of weird. Some things happen and there's like a really long gap between things. There's quite big time jumps. There's quite big event jumps. A lot happens in one book. I'm interested to see how I feel when I've read all 3 of them, whether that makes a difference to my opinion. But I had a reasonably good time rereading this for reading the sequels. I also did rereads of both of my Lore Olympus Volume 1 and Volume 2. This one's 1, 2. This is for Overbooked again because we're getting through the S's, Rachel Smythe. I really enjoyed this. I like this webcomic. I know it's not for everyone, but I do particularly enjoy it. I found I got more out of it this time just based on some of the plot stuff that's currently happening in where it's being released on Webtoon. I definitely think this is well worth reading if you enjoy this kind of thing. If Hades and Persephone stuff isn't for you, then it probably won't be. But I had a good time and I'm excited to obtain volumes 3 and 4. I'm waiting till I can get the matching Illumicrate ones because sometimes I want matching editions, okay? Not a reread, I lied to you. There was one not a reread in there, and this is Finna by Nino Cipri. This is a sort of horror-adjacent novella that is really more sci-fi, I would say, that is set in a legally distinct from IKEA store where our characters discover a wormhole in that IKEA and are sent through the wormhole in order to rescue a customer who has got lost in the wormhole multiverse kind of thing going on. I liked this. I'll be interested to read the sequel. I think it had a lot going for it. There's a lot of interesting interpersonal dynamics. It's definitely that novella thing of this is really exploring a relationship between 2 people through the lens of this sort of supernatural happening, which I don't mind, but I think it's worth noting. Yeah, I had a good time with it. I will read the sequel. I'm probably going to wait till a couple of weeks from now and pick it up when I've got a bit of time. But yes, I have now read that. Novella video is coming in probably a few months, maybe. And another novella, this time a reread. I finished what I started last week, which was The 4 Profound Weaves. I really enjoyed this novella. I think it's so good. The audiobook is fantastic. The one thing I will say is I found it less easy to differentiate between the 2 perspectives. I think their voices are very similar, which is something that I just typically have a problem with. And I mean that both in the sense of the narrator's voice and the written voice of the character. I still think this is well worth reading. It's so fantastic. I talked a little bit about the plot last week, so I won't talk about it for too long here, but just a wonderful story of finding yourself even in later life that was just really stunningly written. Fantastic. I really need to read the actual book that is in the same universe because I haven't had a chance to yet. I need to obtain a copy, so that's on my list now as well. In terms of things I'm in the middle of, it's only 3 things. I have Storm Beneath a Midnight Sun, which I'm still in theory reading. I haven't got a lot of motivation to read it and I'm tempted to DNF, but I'm trying to give it a bit more of a chance. I think I'm going to give it another 100 pages. and then either I will be so far in that I go, well, might as well finish, or I will know that I definitely don't want to finish it. It's just quite difficult to read. I'm also reading Dreams Bigger Than Heartbreak, which is the sequel to Victories Greater Than Death, Unstoppable series. I like this more than the first book, I think because there are more characters in it that you get perspectives of, a great time. And also The Immortals, which is my Edge Chronicles read at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a good time. The Immortals is the longest Edge Chronicles book, and I think it was kind of intended to kind of be no pun intended, a bookend to the series. It wasn't. There are more books after that, which I will get to in the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. If getting a little bit depressed about capitalism, but that's just how it is sometimes. Next week is another off week for me. It's a rest week, so I will not be publishing a what I'm reading right now video, but just to give you an indication of what I'm planning on picking up, I have my review copy of Flower Heart, which I'll be reading, which I hope is going to be a lovely time. I also have some Animorphs in theory to catch up on, but I probably won't if we're being perfectly honest about ourselves. And then I have Prime Meridian, which I really want to read as well as part of my novella project, but I'm going to talk about that in what will be today's Patreon live stream, but for you, it will have happened 2 days ago. So if you're a patron and you want to watch that back, you can go check out me talking about novellas there. I say that having not done the live stream yet, I might get distracted and not talk about novellas at all, but this video will be edited before that because time is an illusion. I don't think I have any new releases in particular that I want to talk about. I know Frontier has just come out. I haven't decided if I want to read that yet or not. I'm going to wait till there are some reviews out there. I did think about reading it, but I decided I just didn't have the time to slot a review copy in. However, I do really like the cover, and that's really getting me. And I've been trying to think about reading more sci-fi lately. I'm trying. It's not always my favourite. I need to get some good high fantasy in my schedule as well. So yes, a bit of a quick one this week, just because there's not been much going on and a lot of my things have been rereads. It is how it is. Hopefully I should have some new release stuff to talk to you about in the coming weeks. But I'm so close to finishing off all of my review copies and such, and then it's going to be Mood Reading City. She absolutely lied. I will not be mood reading, I will be creating detailed schedules, but that's fine. I am what I am. What have you been reading? What have you been up to? Let me know down in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. While you're down there commenting, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It makes me feel loved and appreciated. You can also follow me on social media. Come hang out on Discord where we have chill chats about books. I'd like to say an enormous, huge thank you to all the ghosts who haunt me over on Patreon. They support the channel and in return get early access to videos, bonus content, live streams and more. If you would like to join their number, that's linked below as well. This is me live realising I haven't released my newsletter yet, so patrons, you will have that by the time this video goes up. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for watching. That's all from me, and I will see you in the next one.
It's gonna be some bloopers now.
I forgot to look up where I got to. Such talent and professionalism. We were in love triangle mode. Welcome back to... No.